two patents application at the moment, one internationally and one UK. Really positive feedback on that. Okay, so yeah, it's a freely movable electronic joint. So from the consumer electronics and that side, this is the problem. Okay, so this is the problem. If you've ever had a problem, wire and jack insertion. So a lot of sort of Kickstarters and people, they look at the sheathing and actually look at sort of just ruggedizing it. We're actually looking at it from a completely different way, which is we've created a ball and socket joint with no wires crossed. So the sort of interest and traction just in the consumer electronics industry over the summer was, yeah, pretty interesting. I think this is where it sort of begins to validate just in the consumer electronics market alone. This is just one application. We can pass audio, data, power, pretty much anything you want and scale on the size. So this is the joint, just obviously at the concept stage at the moment. We have a working prototype which proves the principle. The next stage is to go to dispatch. So, like I say, it's ergonomic design. A lot of the problems that happen with when we put in the cable is you put on the soldering to the point, so it's a fixed connection. So it's adaptable. We can do headphones. We can do pretty much anything with the technology. So yeah, this is just some of the market interest, market potential. Okay, so we over-engineered it to military spec, and so on CAD it's up to I don't know. So these are just some of the partners who are actually interested at the moment. The outsourcing company I do the electronics with is Innovative Product Design, and MTC have actually validated the technology that it's not just a Kickstarter, it's something a bit more. We've actually, on Friday, speaking to the head of robotics there, and we're actually going to go and develop it into that application. So it's quite exciting on that version. We're going to be going for a couple of other awards, which is into ITC in well-being as well, which is into prosthetics, and some of the partners we actually are approaching, we're getting letters of interest from the top 5 companies. TE turnover £12 billion a year, and they said if you can prove electric power, we're in. Unipar, we're having a secondary meeting, and we're looking for licensing agreements with these companies to outsource the technology. We're having a secondary meeting with Unipar, which they've found data to back the technology as well. So we are looking at royalties and licensing agreement, because we don't believe without partnerships we're going to just be looking like a Kickstarter campaign. So looking at that, and this is what's just happened last week, so this is why I'm a bit scattered this week. It has been a one-man band and sole founder until now. The outsourcing team was Innovate, and the first question past them, Matt and Dave are commercialization and the head of the company over there. There's uncertainty there, and they back the technology, and they're coming, once I raise, they're going to come on board. And this is the senior guy I spoke on Friday at MGC, and he's now invited to me with the use of sort of into robotics, and it's quite an exciting time. We're speaking about one new application for technology. I'm a big geek, so I hate doing this, sorry about this. One of the applications we spoke about last week, for a secondary patent, he's already said we will get that for that. So I can't really disclose too much, but where we're going with it is pretty exciting. With those partnership companies as well, we've actually been given internal information about sort of going to the OEMs who are actually going to be facilitating much larger companies. Because it's all going to be about how many units we can sell and how fast we can get it out there. But the application into robotics and that, I think, is more investable than sort of pitching it as a Kickstarter group. So yeah, that's me and sort of what I've done. And yeah, that's something we've got to do.
Internet Things solutions provider. We focus on the B2B market, and we're focused on problems in the built environment. The solution that we're taking to market, the problem that we're solving, is a really glamorous problem, which is water temperature testing. All organisations in this country, and actually lots of countries in Europe and all over the world, have to test their water temperatures to meet their health and safety compliance around Legionnaires' disease. One of the primary control mechanisms for Legionella is to make sure your hot water is hot enough and your cold water is cold enough. And people have to validate that by testing their temperatures either once a month, once a week, possibly in some use cases once a day. And they generally do it manually. And lots of organisations outsource this to big companies, the FM companies, or intermediaries. So that's who we sell to. We sell into those intermediaries, the providers of water temperature testing, to help them reduce their contract costs or to take on more contracts. So this is the solution in action. What is really cool about this technology? This is our device. This uses an Internet Things network called Sigfox. What this allows me to do is wherever there is Sigfox coverage, anywhere in the world, I can strap this to a pipe and that's it, I'm done. I don't need any other infrastructure to support that. I don't need to talk to the IT team. I don't need a gateway. It's standalone. That's really important from a business case point of view because the solution has to be very easy to install. These go, in that example there, that's a panel that's behind a screen, an IPS panel in a hospital. The installer needs to be able to take that panel off, strap the device to the pipes, and put the panel back and use it up. Our device will last up to about 8 years on a single battery charge. And that data comes directly back into our platform, and we give the provider, the FM company, or the environmental consultant, a picture of the Legionella risk within that property. So I wanted to skip straight to the market opportunity and some of the things that we're doing. Last week, it's the first time in my working life I've ever been chased by a customer of ours to release a press release, normally the other way around. We've done a trial with Carillion in some of the properties that they provide temperature testing in London, a very successful trial that they published a press release. So just a rough idea about the size of the opportunity. Carillion currently do manual water temperature testing in between 150,000 and 200,000 properties in the UK. And the number of outlets that they will test in that property will vary between a small handful, 2 or 3, up to 10, 15 or 20, depending on the size of the property. And they do that manually. So it is a huge market. The number of outlets that you can strap the device to and measure is phenomenal. The legislation applies not just in the UK, but in a lot of other countries in Europe and also in the US. In terms of traction, some of the other companies that we're working with, we're doing paid trials with most of these guys. So we have a paid trial at Interserve, Intersection House of Birmingham. We're doing a trial with CBRE, 2 trials with NG, lots of other organisations. All of those trials are currently paid, so that's fantastic for us. So we're covering our costs, and we are moving into formal procurement discussions with both Interserve and Carillion. We expect to sell between 10 and 20,000 devices this year, and our target is to get to 200,000 devices within 3 years. Our business model is we provide the device, white label, for the organisation and the platform on a monthly subscription basis. So the organisation doesn't have any upfront hardware costs to bear. That's down to us. So we have to put license and rental agreements around that, and it's our responsibility to fix the device and be careful. Where we're currently at working with RWE is RWE are very interested in technologies like Sigfox, this old low-power wide area networking technology. What we are hoping to do is to do a trial with RWE in Poland, proving that our solution will work outside of the UK and will utilise the Sigfox network outside of the UK. sell into the B2B space and have good commercial relationships, which is key for us because we don't sell to the end customer, we sell to the intermediary, to the guy that provides the testing services. And that's us.
Okay, good. So, any questions? So, there you go, one at the back. Charlie.
Just a quick question for Greg, actually. No, I was just wondering, Red Technology, Red TI. I was just wondering what you plan to do, or what your thoughts are when the cheaper knockoff of your product comes to market, and how you actually have barriers to stop your competitors getting as good as you.
Okay, so I think that's why we're going in for like B2B sales. So it's easier to, let's say, Kickstarters and that. Yeah, there's you can say stronger sheeping, but we're aiming at B2B and actually getting into the box of the sort of leading brands. So why can people actually be in their box if we've got the technology and just not a strong bit cheaper on the outside, and then off the back of that, generating revenue, which is really it. Well, we're talking to some of those partners at 150 grand licensing deals at the moment. We're going through, trying to sort of make a bidding war at the moment. And then to develop the technology, I didn't really do it very well, but that guy, Bottom Advisor, he's involved with MTC over in Coventry. We're one of the only startups ever to get, well, I say one-man bands ever to get in there, sort of validating our technology on that basis. And then, I've been to a Robonet event there, and there's grants for developing into technology. So that's not like a pipe dream, that's very feasible. That's sort of what we want to do. So we want to license the sort of, let's say, not as investable cable technology, but still a huge market. For example, Foxconn, if they turn out iPhone cables, that's only one application. They turn 1.5 million cables out a day. So they are ridiculously big. So if we can get to that with this technology, it's huge. And then the other technologies to bring revenue and bring value to our business and build brand is really cool. Other technology, like robotics, and then the other one is the other stuff which we spoke about on Friday is some other stuff I can't speak about, other applications developing off the back of first IP and new IP. So that's what we're going with, build our own products and stuff later.
Cool, thanks.
Right, a quick question for the Mike Journey. So you mentioned that one of your applications is helping large event organisers manage people approaching the event. Maybe just a quick heads up on what does and how it works.
Yeah, sure. So the platform is designed to integrate with existing booking and CRM systems and existing apps. It'd be great to talk to you about that integration. The thing we do is we pull in the core booking information, i.e. I book the event, we then look at the customer's postcode, we then look at their typical transport activity, and so we help them organise and manage the journey from the customer to and from their event. That might be pre-booking transport, that might be pre-booking accommodation, and of course there's an additional revenue that comes back to the event promoter based on that. So it's a kind of 360 service wrap around events in that specific area. So good to
Solution conversation.
I've got one forward actually. The Sigbox, is it? For those people who don't know, do you want to just describe who's rolling that out and where that comes from?
So Sigfox is a French company. They license their IoT network technology to different, what they call Sigfox network operators. So you get different operators in different parts of the world. In the UK, it's being deployed by an organisation called Arqiva, a big media company. About 30% of the population in the UK is currently covered, but the network exists in France, Germany, Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, and there's a big deployment going on in Australia and New Zealand.